This is KTTC News.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Caitlin Alexander. An Austin mother is pleading guilty to second-degree manslaughter in the suffocation death of her 2-month-old son in 2021. Jocelyn Pater was arrested and charged with several counts, including child endangerment and possession of a controlled substance. The child was found underneath her while she slept on the couch. She admitted to officers she had been using meth. The child was flown to Mayo Clinic in Rochester, where he later died. Prosecutors agree to drop the other charges against her and release her from jail while she awaits sentencing. There were 2 overdoses in Rochester last night. Around 5, a man overdosed in a guest house behind Famous Dave's. According to the Rochester Police Department, a person called saying that a man was dying. Officers responded and found a 31-year-old man who was not breathing. They delivered Narcan to him, and he woke up. He was then sent to St. Mary's. Then at around 4 this morning, a woman went to a warming shelter asking for a blanket for her friend and told the staff that he overdosed. She told police that she gave her friend 2 doses of Narcan and was refusing to give away where he was staying, but eventually told the police. He was found west of Mayo Park near the amphitheater. The 24-year-old man refused medical assistance. 1 person is dead after a crash on Highway 63 near Lake City yesterday. According to Minnesota State Patrol, around 4:30 yesterday evening, 26-year-old Spencer Summerfield of Millville was driving south when he collided with another vehicle coming from the other direction. Summerfield died on the scene and was not wearing a seatbelt. It's unknown if alcohol was involved. The other driver was transported to St. Mary's with unspecified injuries. The Wabasha County Sheriff's Office, Lake City Police Department, fire and ambulance all responded to the scene. Some good news for the family and friends of a missing Elba man. After searching for several days, Bruce Wiza has been found safe at an emergency room. He went missing Monday night, and multiple agencies have spent the past few days looking for him. The Winona County Sheriff's Office wants to thank everyone who helped out. Well, it's time now for a quick check on the weather. Our forecaster, Derek Overland, is live on the weather patio for us tonight to get us started on how this Friday could be shaping up. For now, pretty comfortable out there this evening, Derek.
Yeah, it's really nice right now. The sun is shining, some clouds moving along, but really a really nice day today. Relatively warm temperatures, very comfortable right now. As we take a look at some of our graphics here, we did have some rainfall in northern part of the area in Goodhue County and Red Wing, about a 1/4 inch of rain to around 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday, last night. Radar estimated totals there. Loosen out a live camera here in Rochester, showing those partly cloudy skies, 73 degrees with north winds at 13 miles per hour. Now looking at current temperatures across the rest of the area, in the mid to low 70s, 75 in Zumbrota, 73 in Dodge Center, and 76 in Cresco. Now looking at future track radar, we do have some cloud cover moving in from the north, and that's just going to make us partly cloudy to mostly cloudy some parts of the night, and not expecting any rain from these clouds. We take a zoom out off to our east near Chicago and Peoria. That was the front boundary that moved through last night, giving us some showers and thunderstorms, especially in Goodhue County. And right now, we're staying clear and we're staying dry until tomorrow here. Hour by hour forecast showing cloudy skies moving in and out. But then by tomorrow, we could see our next chance of some showers and thunderstorms. And I'll have those full details in your full forecast in just a little bit. Caitlin.
Okay, Derek, thank you. If your kids go to school in Houston, the school district is hosting a special election on August 8th to vote on a more than $30 million referendum. It'll include 2 questions. The first, to authorize $18.2 million for construction of secure entrances and safety improvements at the high school and elementary school sites, as well as a new high school media center, cafeteria, and art classrooms. The second question asks voters to approve $12.2 million for construction and equipping of an auditorium and performing arts addition at the high school facility. Question 2 can only pass if question 1 is approved. And another meeting you may want to sit in on, happening in just a little bit. The Minnesota Department of Transportation is hosting a meeting on Highway 14 from Dodge Center to Byron. There, residents can learn more about a construction project to improve safety for all users on Highway 14 from Dodge Center to Byron. Information will be provided about the construction timeline, detours, and how to navigate a J-turn intersection. The meeting starts at 6 tonight, runs until 8. It's at the American Legion in Dodge Center. The latest workforce numbers for Minnesota are in, and they show another month of growth. Still, the stats from the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development aren't all positive, with the state losing 4,300 jobs last month. KTTC's Quinn Gorham breaks down the numbers and what officials say it means for Minnesota.
A mixed bag of labor statistics highlighted the month of June here in Minnesota, but overall the attitude was one of positivity at Deed. Jobs are up 2.4% both here in Minnesota and nationwide, a trend that state officials hope continues as the state continues to make investments into the workforce. First, the not so good news. The state lost more than 4,000 jobs last month. Still, Commissioner Matt Verelek and others at Deed are confident that's nothing to worry about. The numbers are indicative of the typical ebb and flow in the job market. What they choose to highlight instead was 4 months in a row of workforce participation growth. That means that even as unemployment remains stagnant, the number of people actively working or looking for work was up roughly 6 points over the national average. While the rate hasn't yet returned to pre-pandemic levels, Minnesota is showing a promising trend toward a more extensive and diverse workforce.
Every month, this is the fourth month in a row that we've seen more people coming back into the labor force, and the biggest growth.
Minnesota's unemployment numbers remain well below the national average. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will be asking the U.S. Supreme Court to review his conviction for second-degree murder in the killing of George Floyd. This comes after the state Supreme Court denied Chauvin's appeal without comment in a one-page filing dated Tuesday. Chauvin's attorneys say there are a number of reasons to overturn the conviction, saying a state district court deprived him of his right to a fair trial when they denied his request for a change of venue. Last April, Chauvin was found guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 22.5 years in prison. Shining a spotlight on a Blooming Prairie executive making a difference in the lives of children. Amy Hinsman has been nominated for the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal 2023 CFO of the Year Award for her work at the nonprofit Leo Augusta Children's Academy. This award recognizes financial officers who play a vital role in making businesses, institutions, and nonprofits successful in the state. Leo Augusta Children's Academy is a children's development and care facility supporting the underserved southeastern Minnesota rural area. Dental care is an important part of keeping our children healthy. An organization in Winona is helping some families with dental care costs before the school year starts. Children's Dental Health Services will be hosting a free dental clinic at Winona High School on August 8th and 9th. The clinic will be held exclusively for children on medical assistance. Because of grant funding and donations, there's no cost for services for uninsured children. Participating kids will have access to a 6-month follow-up cleaning at their school. Appointments can be scheduled by calling the Children's Dental Health Services office with the number on your screen. Happening this weekend, Little Thistle Brewing is hosting its first Littlest Thistles Kids Club on Saturday. This month's theme is summer fun. There will be bubbles, chalk games, and outdoor water activities. Parents must be present and the bar will be open. The fun on the patio starts at 11. We'll be right back, but first a look outside. It was a nice day to get outside and enjoy that sunshine if you could. Your forecast is coming up in just a few minutes. From a presidential visit today to the latest on former President Trump awaiting a possible indictment. There's lots to be monitored from the White House. Our White House correspondent John Decker joins us now live. John, let's begin with President Joe Biden. He was in Philadelphia today. What was the purpose of this trip?
Caitlin, I was in Philadelphia with President Biden, traveled with him on Air Force One, and the trip is to tout what he is calling and what the administration is calling Bidenomics, some of the good points coming out of administration proposals that are benefiting the U.S. economy, touting the historically low unemployment rate that we're seeing, around 3%. In addition to that, unemployment 9% last year at this time, down to 3% today. And the president in Philadelphia, of course, Pennsylvania, a major battleground state in 2020. It will likely be a major battleground state in 2024. This is the 27th time that he's visited Pennsylvania since becoming president. Gives you a sense about how important he views this state as it relates to his re-election run. And today he was touting the hundreds of union jobs that are being created at the the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, just outside of where the Philadelphia International Airport is located.
And the January 6th grand jury met today. We know former President Trump received a target letter, but he still hasn't been indicted or arrested. So what's the latest there?
Well, the latest is that grand jury heard from another witness today, that witness being someone who worked for Donald Trump when he was president, continues working for him now, that he's a private citizen. And as far as an indictment is concerned, it could happen any day. It could happen any week. What will happen, Caitlin, is what the special counsel will put a draft indictment in front of that grand jury. And the grand jury, as far as the 23 members, 12 of those members have to agree to go forward with that indictment. So it's not that high of a burden, just probable cause as it relates to a crime. And so President Trump, former President Trump, his lawyers are expecting an indictment forthcoming from this grand jury. It's just a matter of when. We certainly believe that that will happen.
Our White House correspondent, John Decker. John, thanks for that report tonight.
Thank you.
Parts of North Carolina slammed by an EF3 tornado Wednesday, but the impact of the weather disaster could have much farther-reaching consequences after a Pfizer manufacturing plant sustained significant damage. Mike Valerio reports.
A North Carolina Pfizer plant slammed Wednesday by an EF3 tornado. One of the largest facilities manufacturing sterile injectable drugs in the world, the site supplies more than a quarter of such medications used in U.S. hospitals.
A sterile injectable is really any drug that you give by IV, and it affects lots of aspects of American healthcare, from the operating room with anesthesia to infectious disease and a whole host of other medicines.
Now, as the company assesses the damage to gauge the impact, experts are concerned Pfizer's lost product and production capability could have significant consequences in hospitals across the country.
I'm really afraid that some patients will get suboptimal care, and there may be an increase in lives lost.
Physicians and supply chain experts also fear this event could exacerbate the nation's ongoing drug shortages.
I have about 300 drugs in short supply now in the United States.
Dr. Peter Chin Hong of the University of California, San Francisco says there are several key factors contributing to the shortages, including increased demand, scarcity in raw materials from overseas, and a lack of transparency in the supply chain.
It's a multimodal problem that needs a lot of interventions from different aspects.
But he says if you rely on a medication currently in short supply, don't panic.
Find out what the alternatives are, but make sure you talk to your healthcare provider, because not all alternatives are created equal.
Well, we enjoyed that sunshine today. Of course, everyone's still talking about we need that rain.
We really do need that rain. We might have a few light chances here coming up tomorrow and Saturday. Not expecting a whole lot from these chances, but will help a little bit.
Whatever we can get.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we do have a few of those chances. We look at some of our weather graphics here. We have some rainfall from yesterday, last night here in Goodhue County. Red Wing seeing radar estimate around 1/4 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch there up in Red Wing. Looking at our Lucent Auto Live camera here in Rochester, we're seeing partly cloudy skies with 73 degrees, north winds at 13 miles per hour. Across the rest of the area in the mid to low 70s, 73 in Albert Lea and Austin, 75 in Osage, 76 in Cresco, and 79 up in Red Wing. Now looking at future track radar, we do have some cloud cover moving in from the north. It's going to make us partly cloudy to mostly cloudy for most of the evening into our night, but not expecting any rainfall from these clouds. We do have some showers and thunderstorms that could impact us tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And here's what to expect, some weather headlines. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild. For our weekend, we'll see those stray storms and will be a little bit warmer. Then for next week, we're going to be hot and humid. So what to look for on those rain forecasts here, we do have some stray chance for Friday and Saturday. And then we're dry Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, then our next chance being Wednesday, another stray chance there. Now looking at future track, you can see right now we have some partly cloudy skies in the mid to low 70s. We go into tonight, we do clear up a little bit, and we will remain clear for Friday morning around the low 60s there as we get into our Friday afternoon. That's when those storms really start to show up here as we have that daytime heating from our afternoon hours where those storms will make their way through and give us some light rainfall, expecting about 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch in some spots as this moves through our Friday evening into our really early Saturday morning. We will clear up and be in the low 60s. Now, our drought monitor is something we are watching every week as this comes out. We do have an extreme drought here in Rochester and Olmsted County. Around Olmsted County here in this orange, we do have a severe, and the tan, that's a moderate drought. Here in Rochester, only a little over 1.25 inches of rain for our season. That's just over 6 inches of a departure. That's a lot of rain that we're missing out on throughout the season. Our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, this is our late July, the 26th through the 30th. We're going to be a lot warmer. Heat wave making its way through, about 80% to 90% above average here. So let's put those percentages into numbers here. Friday, we're going to be below average at 78 degrees. Then we're going to jump up to 80 degrees by our weekend, a little bit above average. Then we're going to shoot even higher up into the mid 80s by our next week. And then we could see 90 degrees by Tuesday or Wednesday there. Wednesday being our best chance to see our first 90-degree day here in Rochester. So something to look forward to, maybe some warmer temperatures if you like those 90-degree temps. But tonight's forecast, we're going to be partly cloudy and breezy. Northwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour, in the mid to upper 50s. And looking at tomorrow's forecast, we're going to see some stray evening showers and thunderstorms. Northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour in the mid to upper 70s. Now looking at our 7-day forecast, we're looking at some stray chances for Friday and Saturday. Both of those will be relatively close to the afternoon, evening hours. Then we're going to clear out Sunday. We're sunny Sunday. Then we are still dry Monday and Tuesday. Then we have those stray thunderstorm chances for Wednesday. Our temperature going up into the 90s.
KTTC weather brought to you by K&S Heating.
Ahead of Friday's release of the movie Barbie, dozens of brands and retailers are catering to nostalgic adults, hoping they'll spend their extra cash on bright pink clothes and accessories to reconnect with their childhood memories. In today's Consumer Watch, Cole Higgins has a look at the brands looking to cash in big on the small iconic doll.
The business of Barbie is hot pink. This summer's blockbuster Barbie movie has retailers and brands rushing to cash in on the nostalgia.
I'd say the world has turned pink. It's an incredibly important milestone for the brand.
Retailers are hoping cautious consumers will dip into their discretionary spending to buy Barbie-themed merch. More than 100 eager companies, including Aldo, Gap, and Crocs, have signed deals with Mattel, the maker of the iconic doll, to create and sell Barbie-themed clothing, shoes, accessories, and countless other products, including the doll herself.
I think I had 24, and they were gone within, I'd say within 48 hours.
In New York City, Bloomingdale's flagship store, a pop-up shop looking more like Barbie's dream house. Meanwhile, Mattel is also hoping the new film will give Barbie sales a boost after sales in the first quarter of this year fell 22% compared to the same quarter last year.
We anticipate that this is going to be an unlock moment of huge monetization potential for the Barbie brand.
It comes as higher grocery prices have impacted consumer spending. Retailers are hoping the pink craze this summer can chase away the inflation blues. Experts say it gives retailers a creative opportunity to lure in frugal shoppers into their store and convince them to spend their cash.
I've seen, more diversity, like in terms of dolls in general. So I would say there's an effort.
You might have noticed some TV shows are off the air, and soon strikes could affect more than that. They could soon make it harder to order packages, take a vacation, or enjoy some entertainment. Members of the UPS Teamsters Union are staging practice picket lines as an August 1st strike looms. UPS says it's ready to up its offer on pay and benefits, and talks are set to resume next week. American Airlines flight attendants are set to vote on a strike authorization this month. Their union's negotiating for an immediate 35% raise, in line with what United, American, and Delta have offered pilots. In Southern California, hotel employees have been staging short-term walkouts over pay and benefits. Broadway workers could go on strike as soon as tomorrow, and Hollywood unions for writers and actors continue to picket. Authorizing a strike doesn't necessarily mean one will happen. Federal regulations make it hard for airline unions to disrupt the industry. We'll have more on the impacts of these strikes during our 6 p.m. broadcast. Someone in Los Angeles woke up today a Powerball jackpot winner. The ticket was sold at a convenience store. The soon-to-be billionaire has the only ticket matching all 5 numbers and the Powerball. That person will have the option to choose between the $516.8 million lump sum or an annuity. 7 other tickets matched 5 numbers, acquiring $1 million per winner. Google says it's building an artificial intelligence tool for news publishers that can generate headlines and articles. The tech giant says it wants to partner with news outlets on the tool's use in newsrooms. Google says the idea is to help journalists enhance their work and productivity. The New York Times reports the project is referred to internally as Genesis. According to the paper, it has been pitched to the Times, the Washington Post, and News Corp, which owns the Wall Street Journal. Google didn't name those media companies, but said it is particularly focusing on smaller publishers. The company said the project is not meant to replace journalists. Netflix is scrapping its least expensive ads-free plan for new members in the U.S. and UK. The basic plan, a single stream for $10 a month in the U.S. and £7 in the U.K., is no longer available for new or rejoining members. Netflix says existing basic members can keep their plans. The move is meant to push customers to its ad-supported package. Standard with ads launched in November and costs $7 a month. It comes with an average of 4 minutes of unskippable ads per hour. We'll be right back.
For over 20 years, White's Fire Smoke.
There's a big chess championship underway in St. Louis this week, and one of its biggest stars is a young girl from right here in Minnesota. 13-year-old Alice Lee is an international chess master-elect who is competing in one of the nation's top chess tournaments, the U.S. Girls Junior Championship. As you can see in some of these videos, Alice is much younger than many of the players. She began playing at 6 years old and originally said she didn't even like chess and was dragged along to chess clubs by her older brother. We spoke with Alice today, who said that it was actually her need for improvement and her constantly losing in the game that helped her appreciate the game of chess. We'll have more from her tonight at 6. Of course, we're pulling for her as we watch this all unfold. Thanks so much for joining us for KTTC News today at 5 o'clock.
Yep. See you at 6 o'clock.